Okay, so let's get familiar with how our Windows application works on a computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch. Just take heed of these words. Launching is the same as running or opening or starting. You'll hear a lot of people use those words interchangeably. So I'm just going to hover down here on the Windows Explorer, which is this yellow folder down here in the system tray, and I'm going to click my left mouse button down and let it go. Boom. And it has now launched the Windows Explorer, and it's opened up in the libraries folder. I'm not going to go into this too much at the moment. I just want to explain the behavior of the window. So you'll just see that I've just moved it. Now how I did that was I took my mouse, which hopefully you can see moving around. I positioned it up here on the top region, anywhere up here. I can grab it anywhere along there, holding down my left mouse button, keeping it held down, and then moving my mouse, I can move the window. So I'm now sitting here deciding where I would like to put it, and I'll just decide I'm going to put it there. So once I've decided that, I can let go of the left mouse button and move my mouse around again. And just to show that again, I'm going to move my mouse onto the top region of the window, hold down my left mouse, and just drag it back down to the bottom there. So, left mouse button down, drag or move or reposition, whatever you want to call it. I usually call it dragging. So I can drag it over to the right, down the bottom, over to the bottom left, up the top, in the middle. So that's the basic way how you move a window. Now, what about resizing it? We may not like the size of it at the moment. We may want to make it bigger. We might want to make it smaller. Well, we can do that in a number of ways. So I'll just move it around there. Now, when you position your mouse on any of the edges of a window, you'll notice, and you would have seen that already, that it changes. The mouse icon now turns into a double arrowed. You'll notice that the mouse icon has now changed into a line with an arrow on each end. Now, when it's done that and we hold down the left mouse button, we can move it left and right, and see we can make it go smaller, or we can drag it out until it's bigger, right to the edge. If I want to grab it, I've let go. So if I want to grab that edge again, I've just got to move my mouse back to the edge and notice when it's changed. Hold down the left mouse button and move it back across. I can do the same thing with the left edge. Move it left and right. I can also do the same with the top and bottom edges, so I can drag it up to the top. I can drag the bottom one down to the bottom, or I can drag the bottom one up to the top. And one more way is via the corners. If you hover your mouse in the corner, you'll see it turns into a slanted line with an arrow on each end, and that allows me to move two sides at once. So now I'm moving the left and the top. If I now move my mouse across to the top right, I can move the top and the right edge. If I move my mouse down to the bottom right, I can now move the bottom and the right edge. And one more, if I move my mouse down to the bottom left, I can drag the left and bottom edge. So we can just quickly resize things however you want. You can just move it around, whatever's convenient for you. Remember, you're in control of this, not the computer. So however you want to reposition that. Alright, so I'll just put it back in the middle quickly. Now, if we want it to go full screen, we can do that with this little button here in the middle. Do you see the three buttons? One looks like a squished up line. That looks like a flattened window, which is minimize. When I click on that, left mouse click, it will disappear. But has it? Aha. It's still open, but I can now access it down here in the system tray. So if I hover my mouse down over that yellow folder, you'll see there's a little box appeared here that says libraries, which is the name of the folder that we were in. So if I left mouse click on that, the window comes back. So I can minimize, hover, click, left mouse click, and the window's restored. Okay, that's one way, we can make it go full screen using that middle button, and it toggles. You'll notice here that it looks like a square, which is representing it's going the size of the desktop, which it does. And if I want to put it back to where it was, you'll notice here that there's two little boxes sort of indicating that it's a little square inside the desktop, or rectangle. It's not really a square, a window we should say. So that comes back, and you'll notice that wherever you position this, I'll just sort of do some jiggling here, and I go maximize, which is what this button does, maximize. You'll see a little help tip come up in that yellow box. The way you get those hints is you just move your mouse on there and the little hint will appear. It won't stay there forever, but so it's just disappeared. So if you need it back again, you just move your mouse away, go back, and it'll come back if you're not too sure. So if I click on that, I'll maximize, click on it again, it'll restore it back to where it was. So it's important to know that. So we have it, just say let's do something crazy, let's have it like this. I go maximize, restore, and let's put it back to where I had it. And if I don't like it there, I can just quickly grab the edges, reposition it, then I can pick it up and drag it up the top. So have a practice with that. And when we're done with the window, if we want to close it, we can click on the red cross here. If you hover, it'll say close. So now I've just closed it. If I want to open it again, if I hover down here on the Windows Explorer, you'll notice I don't get any little hints that pop up. It's just telling me it's Windows Explorer. That's because I haven't opened anything yet. So I left mouse click, minimize, hover, the libraries comes back up, I can restore it. If I go to my C drive, minimize, hover, now it says local disk. So the name that you'll get down there is always the same as the folder that you're currently in. I'll talk more about folders later, but I just want to show you how you take control of a window. And it doesn't matter if you're a Windows Explorer, if you're doing your web browsing. Get rid of this little message that annoys me. Oh, why didn't I do that? So I can close it, open it, I can click that middle button, just put it back in the spot where I had it last time. I can move it around, resize it, put it wherever I like. So it doesn't matter what the program is that you're running, you have these functions available to you. So it's I just wanted to show you the concepts of or the behavior of a window. So don't be scared of moving things around. If you go, just one other thing, the last application that you've clicked on, or the window that you've clicked on, is the one that comes to the top. So let's say I've got Windows Explorer full screen and I've got my and I've just clicked on there and my computer's come up. It's on top now. Now if I click anywhere on the other window, which is Windows Explorer in this case, it comes to the front. Now my computer hasn't gone, it's still there, it's sitting behind it. And I'll prove that if I minimize Windows Explorer. There it is, it's still there. Think of these like sheets of paper. Alright, so when you've got something running, it comes to the front. It's on top. And when you click another one, it comes on top. If you click anywhere on a background window, it comes to the top. So it's still there. I can minimize this and come back and bring that back up. Do that. I can even double. If I just click on that icon again down the bottom on the Windows Explorer with the left mouse button, and I can go full screen. Well, basically I'm restoring it to where it was when I minimized it. Isn't that fun? So I can close both of these now, and now my desktop is clear again. So hopefully that gives you a better feel of how you can use your windows on your desktop. Don't be afraid to move things around. You can resize, drag them around, do what you like. I can go full screen, close them, do what you need to do. But Don't sit there and be afraid. Remember, you're in control of the computer. It will do what you ask it to. You just got to know what to ask it. So we'll go into a few other things in the next video.